She was on top of the world, adored by millions, envied by peers. But behind the glittering lights and sold-out arenas, was a truth darker than anyone imagined. A contract. A choice. And a near fall from grace. This is the untold story of how one signature nearly ended Dua Lipa's career forever. Before the fame and the flashing lights, there was a girl with a voice and a dream. Recording in a modest studio, singing her truth into a mic, unaware that destiny was already listening. Dua Lipa wasn't just creating songs, she was building a legacy. Then came the offer, glossy, promising, wrapped in gold. A top-tier music executive sliding a contract across the table. On paper, it was everything she'd ever wanted. But in the music industry, not all that glitters is gold. With a trembling hand and hopeful heart, she signed. That penstroke changed her life, catapulting her into superstardom. But hidden in the fine print was a clause that would come back to haunt her. The meteoric rise was nothing short of legendary. Chart toppers, world tours, and a fandom that worshipped her. Dua Lipa was no longer just a name, she was an era. But the higher you rise, the harder the fall. Behind the Instagram posts and glittering gowns, was exhaustion. Isolation. The weight of a career managed by people who saw her not as a person, but a product. The cracks had begun to show. Late one night, under the glow of a dressing room mirror, she revisited the contract. Her eyes caught something she'd missed years ago. A clause, vague, binding, and dangerous. Something was wrong. When she confronted her team, the mood shifted. Smiles faded. Voices rose. Suddenly, the woman who filled stadiums was being silenced in boardrooms. It wasn't about her music anymore, it was about control. Endless travel, back-to-back shows, zero rest. She collapsed onto couches, still in costume, her mind foggy, her body breaking. What began as a dream had morphed into a relentless machine. The clause was simple, full control over creative direction, public appearances, and even personal relationships. A legal trap disguised as a partnership. It wasn't a contract, it was a cage. She sought help, quietly. A young lawyer, unafraid to challenge giants, reviewed the document. Her face turned grim. "They own everything," she said. "But there's a way out, if you're ready to fight." She began to pull away, canceling interviews, skipping label-planned events. The hallway she walked alone was dark, but ahead, there was light. Her journey to freedom had begun. Retaliation came swiftly. Executives furious. Opportunities revoked. Rumors leaked. She was labeled difficult, unstable. The machine was fighting back. Her next album delayed. Her tour suspended. The spotlight that once adored her now dimmed. Fans waited, confused. She disappeared from the stage, but not by choice. The tabloids pounced. Diva meltdown. Label war. Headlines screamed louder than truth. Every article chipped away at her image, exactly as the label had planned. Alone in her hotel room, she broke. Not for the cameras, but for herself. The pressure, the lies, the betrayal, it all caught up. But even in her tears, there was resolve. A secret rooftop meeting. Her lawyer. The execs. No cameras, no smiles, just tension. She had leverage, her fan base, her voice, her truth. And she was ready to use it. One tweet changed everything. No PR team. No approval. Just her words. "I won't be silenced." It went viral in minutes. The world was watching again, and this time, they were on her side. She returned to the studio, not for the label, but for herself. Rehearsing, sweating, pushing. Each note was a declaration: she was not done. She was reborn. She sat across from a reporter and told it all. The contract. The manipulation. The lies. Her voice trembled but never cracked. It wasn't just her story, it was a warning to every young artist watching. Her fans, once kept in the dark, lit up the streets. Posters, chants, digital campaigns. They weren't just listeners anymore, they were warriors. And they were loud. The contract was terminated quietly, no press release, no celebration. But she knew. As the papers were shredded, so was the last hold they had over her. Now, she stood on an empty stage, facing the dawn. No managers barking orders. No contracts holding her back. Just her, the music, and a future she finally owned. Years from now, they'll remember the hits. The headlines. But more importantly, they'll remember her stand. The moment Dua Lipa said, "No more." Her legacy wasn't just platinum records, it was power reclaimed. If this story moved you, there's more they don't want you to know. Hit like, subscribe for the next explosive truth, and comment your thoughts. Because behind every contract, there's a story waiting to be told.